to be A-L-O-N-E. He dropped the L. That means it's not good for man to be alone, yes, but it means it's not good for man to be all one. A-L-O-N-E, all one. It is not good for man to think that in and of himself he has all of the answers that he needs. You cannot be all one. Everything cannot be based about your concept, the way you look at everything. It is not good for you to think that you are all one or alone. It's not good for man to do that. You can't make it by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. You need somebody else that has something other than you, because when you have done all that you know how to do, maybe you need to stop doing you. Okay, all right, so now, he created us to be relational with one another, but then he also created us to interact with him. I got to get out of here. He created us to interact with him. Tell somebody he created us to interact with him. Yeah, in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, Genesis 2, verse 7, God comes close to man. Yeah, comes to man. And what God does is he resuscitates dirty emotions. Y'all ain't talking. Because, see, man is created from the dust of the ground. Yeah. And see, because he was there, created from the dust of the ground, God came, covered his mouth and his nose, breathed into him, and man became a living soul. The soulish realm, because we are triune, we are spirit, we have a soul, we live in a body. The soulish realm is your mind, will, emotions, desire, and intellect. And before God comes and breathes his spirit into someone, all they are is their body and their emotions, which is why most of what we've done all of our life prior to being born again was what we did by way of emotions and our flesh. That's where I was at the time. That's how I was feeling. And so now when you get saved and the Spirit of God comes to live in you, and the Spirit of God, which cannot sin, now has to come and live in a vessel that has tag team with your mind, will, emotions, desire, and intellect, so that by the time the Spirit tries to tell you to do something, you now have to try to process it through how you feel. And you'll say, I don't think I can do it, and it doesn't feel right, and I don't see how this can happen. And so now your spirit is trying to carry out an assignment through a fleshly body, which is dirty and environmental, because you are made from the dust of the ground. Therefore, whatever you're going to do when the Spirit is not in control, you're going to look for your environment to do it. And the struggle that many of us are having right now is that you now have two entities, your soul and your spirit, living in one place, which is your body. And your soul and your spirit are not the same thing, which is why David said in Psalm 42, why are you cast down, O my soul, and why are you disquieted within me? Because we in the church realm have perfected knowing what to do with Pentecost. We all know about the Spirit, and we all know how to run up in the gym to get our flesh together, but ain't nobody dealing with our mind, will, emotions, desire, and intellect. Ain't nobody touching our soul. And that's why you've got people who can come in and shout 1 second and cuss you out the next. That's why you've got people who have the ability to carry out everything in church realm, but then can't walk like nothing when they live out. It is because they have got their soul and their body that are working together, and every time the Spirit tries to do what it's supposed to do, all of a sudden your flesh tag teams with your soul like it's a WWE wrestling match, and now your flesh and your soul gang up on your spirit, and now you start to bring in other stuff to try to help your body deal with the situation. And when people look at you, they then will say you are a hypocrite. They will say that you aren't right. It's not that you are a hypocrite. It's just that you've got one place, a body, but you've got two entities, a soul and a spirit. And so one day you see me and I'm living holy, and then the next day I'm the biggest hoe. It is not that I am a hypocrite. I am in warfare. You see me some days when I'm up, and you see me some days when I'm down, but I've come today to kill everything that is not going to live holy unto God, because he wants intimacy. Somebody say intimacy. Please sit down. I've got to get out of here.